What is up, people? Happy Thursday. Can you hear me all right? Check, check. Mic check. All right. Man, it has been, I think, 5 months since I have been able to do a live stream, to do a color cast here. So I am super excited for this. And we're going to do something a little bit different today. So not only am I going to be rendering some interesting line art from Jason Bascom, but we're also going to be taking a look at his current Indiegogo campaign for his second book in the Frog G series, which is Frog G and the Cerberus Key. So we're going to take a look at that. He's got a very, very cool art style. It's very like reminiscent of Mike Mignola, Sam Keith, even some Frank Miller thrown in there. It's very cool. It's a different, like, sketchy kind of style. And on the Frog G campaign, we'll take a look at a little later. He's got InkSpots doing the color work on that, and man, those two together is just something to look at. It's really cool. I keep finding myself going back to the images on the campaign and just looking at the art and seeing how they collaborate together for these really cool images. So we'll take a look at that. Link is in the description for that campaign. Also, there's links to all the artists down in the bio or description as well. So yeah, go check that stuff out. I've already backed the campaign. There's an awesome tier on there for allowing you to get the back issue of book 1 as well. So if you feel that you need book 1 in order to get to book 2, you can get them both. It's awesome. Check it out. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we're doing today. All right. So this is an absolute Batman. So as you can see, his style, like I said, if you're not familiar with those artists that I mentioned before, very, very different. It's a lot of fun. It's a little sketchy, but it's just really neat. And I'm excited to dig in and see how I'm going to color this, because I'm not quite sure how I'm going to approach it. So we'll figure it out together. As always, if you have any questions about the color rendering process, questions about tools, color theory, making comic books, any of that stuff, please let me know. Let's chat. Let's go ahead and let's get started. We're doing this one from flats to hopefully finish today. And my pen isn't registering on the right monitor, so gotta fix that real quick. There we go. Perfect. So always remember to label your layers. We're going to first start off with doing a flats layer. Actually, I like to do a silhouette, to be honest, first, because that way if I want to go back and select the entire image, I can do it in one click, which is a lot nicer. And you'll see that when you're dealing with line art that is done in a traditional way, and you kind of have some of these washes, you don't really have straight black a lot of the time, unless you mess with your values, which I did not do. You end up with these gray tones, which end up being a little lower opacity sometimes. So when you're doing your flats and your silhouette, it's something that you just kind of got to keep in mind, because that color is going to want to show through. And depending on how you approach it, it can actually kind of take away from things. Oh, I gotta move my chat window up. It was being funky. All right. And of course, we have the best looking moderator, my wife. Actually, man in the chat. I apologize for the zooming in and zooming out. It gets a little weird. That's the only thing I don't like about this new monitor I got. I love everything else about it, but they switched over to this key dial, this like dial pad, this keypad, and the zoom in, zoom out is just trash. I really liked the hotkeys that were up above, along the sides, a lot better. Bring that back, Huey. On. Bring that back. I'm sure it's a lot cheaper to manufacture this way, though. Thank you for linking that, Ashley. So that link there will take you straight to the campaign, the Indiegogo campaign for Frog G. Go check it out. Well, a lot of the time when I'm doing flats, in order to save time, I'll use the polyline tool and just quickly zip around and block everything out. But with this sketchier style, you can't really do that. You kind of got to get up on it. So you see, there's not so much in the way of straight lines. What's cool though about the Frog G book is not only is it done in this same like just really cool uh, surreal kind of style, is that InkSpots actually does everything traditionally. He doesn't do anything digitally for that book, as I recall. So he's doing like a lot of acrylic painting, watercolors, probably markers and colored pencils and stuff as well. And what he's able to do with those tools on this line art is something, man. It's really cool. Okay. kind of try and take my time here. I'm not in a really big rush with this, so I don't think it's gonna take us very long to do. Um, Absolute Batman is gray and black, aside from like his belt, which is like that traditional like yellowish color or whatever. So there's not a whole lot to do in the way of. So I think we'll play around with maybe some textures or see what my approach is going to be to coloring this, like what style I'm going to use. I don't know if I'm going to go more painterly or more cartoon style, graphic. I don't know. I just don't know. Let's zoom out and take a look. So it looks like this is a bit of the cape here between its legs. This comes up, and then I think maybe this is a bit of cape as well back here. I know Absolute Batman's got a very weird cape. Like it comes off of his shoulders like normally, and then comes down into like three distinct pieces. So it's interesting. But he's also got like a lot of like spikes. He has spiked pauldrons that go up on his shoulders. Jason didn't draw those in here, but that's okay. Artistic license and all that. I can bring that out a little more over here. Jason, looking cool, man. I probably could have sent you a piece that would have more color in it. Dude, it's all good. It's all good, man. Thanks for stopping by, dude. No, I'm having fun, man. I didn't want to. Yeah, no. I think it looks cool. It's kind of a blend of the old and the new. I dig it. Now that I got my silhouette layer, I'm going to create another layer above that. And this is actually going to be my flats layer. I'll keep that silhouette layer separate. That way I can go back in and select the entirety of the image should I so choose. But now we're going to come in and drop some color. And when you're going to do blacks, if something's black, you don't want to go pitch black. You don't want to wash out somebody's line art. That's totally not cool, bro. And typically, when I'm doing blacks as well, um, I tend to lean more towards like the purples or blues as well. Armbands, those are black as well. Well, yeah, Jason, if you're still in the chat, I've seen the campaign's doing really well, man. Been hitting the road, or not hitting the road, but doing a lot of podcast interviews, stuff like that, getting the word out there. That's awesome. We have the cape and cowl. It's not super necessary to go over the logo, but like I said, since this is traditional inks on here, we have a little bit of opacity. I like to go in and just trace the whole thing anyway. Oh, you're on with Luke in 15. Oh, so Luke's doing a double header today, huh? Right on, man. It just popped into the live stream that he just wrapped up before coming in here. That's all right. He'll be all right. Hmm. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. I really like your style, man. This is just, it's just fun. I just realized all of this is background. So, like I was saying, guys, if you like this, like just fun, wild style that Jason has, like I said, it's very much like Frank Miller, Sam Keith, Mike Mignola, just kind of all wrapped into one, and then coming out of the twisted brain of Jason. Go check out Frog G. Go check out that campaign. We're gonna take a look at it here in a little while, but such fun stuff. Yeah, have a good one, man. Have a good show. It's really cool. I like how beat up he is. And it kind of lends himself to Jason's style as well. all the loose threads and the little bit of chaos that he has in his line art. And then for me as a colorist, it's kind of fun just to go in here and kind of try and pick apart a little bit of like, oh, what is this? Is this a tear? Is this a line? Just good stuff. Just good stuff. What's cool is like as soon as you add color, it just comes together in a different way. It looks so chaotic, and then you just add this color, and it really creates this like just clear image. Even though it's when you get up on it, it's like I said, like a little scratchy, and sketchy, but just fun. Oh, let's see. I think we need to start taking a look down at his arms. It looks like there's another piece on his chest. It's like a discovery as I'm going through everything. Zoom out a little bit. Let's take a step back, see if I missed anything in particular holes wise. I mean, I know there's some on his cape as well, so we'll see the suit underneath. I'll get to that. Let's see. I think I want to make one right here. Maybe not intended to be there, but I see one there. Oh, this zoom. So sorry, guys. Oh, it's got to be vertigo inducing. Oh, that's right. His Batman underwears. Gotta get those. I mean, what's a superhero without their underwear, right? Ashley is on it. Let's. There we go. Oh, looking pretty cool. All right. So we're going to select our silhouette layer. And then on the keyboard, we're going to hold Control, Alt, and while we have the Magic Wand tool, we're going to click on the flats layer. And that's going to deselect all of the colors that are on that flats layer. And now we can select our light gray, just drop that right on it. Drop that right on it. And you know what? Oh, I see. I did. I colored some of that stuff on the wrong layer. Oh, Lord. Why? Oh, because the tolerance is way up. That's why. That was confusing. There we go. We're getting there, gang. We're getting there. Now, his cape is pretty beat up, so we want to make sure that we can see his costume underneath. So we're going to come back in and we're going to hit that with some of that gray to show that this is beat the hell up. Why can I not draw a straight line? You're right. You're right. That's the saying. That's the thing I say all the time. You gotta watch your layers. Gotta label your layers. You gotta pay attention. And I say that not only so anyone watching this can get good habits, but I say that to remind myself because I am often finding myself working on the wrong layer or losing track of my layers because I forget to label them because I just kind of get in the zone and I just start cruising. Not good, not good. Because when you go back in the end and you're trying to do final edits or polish some things up, um, you don't know where anything is, and that's just not good. Or God forbid you make it through a piece and you're working for someone else and they come back and they want edits and now you don't know where the hell all of your colors are because you didn't keep track of your layers. It's not good, guys. Right now, luckily, we're only operating on just a couple layers. We have our background layer, which at the moment is all white. We have our silhouette layer and our flats layer, and then of course the inks over top of everything. And this is what we're looking like so far with just flats. And I gotta tell you guys, I like this flat style on his lines. I think it adds a little bit to that like surreal pseudo cartoon vibe. But I think some shadows are definitely necessary. But I'm not sure still like what my rendering tactic is gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna try and do some cell shade style. I don't know if that's gonna lend itself well. I don't think I'm gonna do a painterly style. So I just don't think that'll look right. I don't know. We'll mess around and and find out. Would some color holds be fun? I don't know if that would be any fun. I don't think that would be fun. Let's not do that. All right, so let's take a look and try and figure out where our light source is coming from. So, the best way to figure out where a light source is coming from is start taking a look at all of the shadows, right? So, in all of the shadows, we have going along the underneath of everything. So that lets us know that the light is coming from pretty much straight down. And this is confirmed because we have highlight spots here, here, on the knuckles, in the palm of the hand, the top of that knee that's kind of crooked in. So all of these become our indicators of where our light source is. And like I said, in this instance, we're looking at a light that's pretty much straight above, maybe a little bit behind. And that's it. So I like to do a subtractive rendering process. I like to go in and I like to do all of my shadows first and then carve away all of the light spots. That's my order of operations. You do you, whatever works best for you. But this is just what works for me. So we're going to create a new layer. This is going to be a multiply layer. We're going to title this one Shadows. We're going to drop that opacity down to about 50, 55%-ish. And then let's find an interesting shadow color. Let's do something a little different. Let's go into like these cyan colors and go dark. Let's just mess around and see how that is. So I'm going to go ahead and select the silhouette layer. That's going to select the entire image for me so I don't have to think about it. Then we're going to go back on the multiply layer and just fill it. That's it. Now everything is covered in shadow. Now, of course, we can increase the opacity here to make it as dark or as light as we want. I tend to lean on the usually between the 50 and 70%. And I start there, and then as I go, I'll adjust accordingly. Sometimes I'll even bump it down a little more, and then I'll do a second layer of shadows to hit some of the darker spots. So that is a tactic as well. Also, as soon as you pick a color for your shadows, create a layer that sits above everything else and use that as your color palette layer. So I can come in and just literally drop that color right there. That way I know I don't lose it, because I am going to be clicking off of it, clicking away from it, selecting other colors, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and let's use our turnip pen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to my flats layer, and I'm going to select this gray color. And I'm going to go back to my shadows layer. And the reason why I do that is so as I erase, I'm only erasing what I've selected. I can't accidentally start erasing on his skin or the black or anything other than the gray color that I selected. And I think we're going to try and go for a little more of a cell shaded style on this, and we'll see how it pans out. Maybe I can be a little more sketchy in my approach as well. You know, when you're messing around with a new style that you're not used to, which I urge everybody to do, always get out of your comfort zone. Try new things. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to discover different techniques. You know, discover maybe like doing something a different way that you didn't think of before or even know was possible. But you gotta just play around. You just gotta see what feels good. I'm just looking at this and going, where do I think light would hit? And I'm just going in and hitting it. I'm going to come back in with my shadow color on these spots that have like lifts and tears and stuff like that. I want to make sure that some of that is still staying in the shadow. Hmm. It's different. It's different. I think what I'm going to do, I think eventually I'm going to come down, bring the opacity down to maybe about 30%. And then I think in this instance, I'm going to go back in and do an extra layer of shadows to darken up some of the other spots. I think that's how we're going to approach this. But for the time being, I'm going to still keep the opacity cranked. That way I have a good contrast. That way I can see very clearly what I'm adding and subtracting. So now we've got his suit for the most part. We're going to come back in and we're going to do the cape and cowl. We take a look at the time here. Okay. In about 15 minutes, I'm going to take about a quick 5-minute break. When we come back, we're going to look at the Frog G campaign. Looking forward to that. There's a trailer video on there. So we'll watch that together. Hopefully I can get the audio to come through. I didn't experiment beforehand to make sure audio was working. But that's okay. This is the point where you go, trust the process. Trust the process. Interesting. Curious to hear your thoughts. What are you thinking? Looking rugged. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and drop in that second layer shadow. So we're going to do another multiply layer. We're going to take this down probably 30% as well. Select our silhouette, come back up, grab that shadow. And we're just going to start adding a little more depth. Let's go ahead and kick that up another notch here. We'll go to about 45%. See how this works out. Yeah, I like the word rugged. I think that it kind of works as a definition for Jason's style as well. Hopefully I'm adding to it with these colors and not completely trashing it. We'll see. We'll see. We're just having fun here. And I think we'll we'll mess around with the opacity of this stuff. All right. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break here. And when I come back, we're going to take a look at the Frog G campaign. We're going to watch the trailer, take a look at the campaign itself. Um, see what that's all about. And then after that, we'll wrap this piece up. So hang tight, and I will be back in 5. There we go. That's probably better. All right, so welcome back to those of you that stuck around. For those of you that left, smell you later. But let's take a look where we were on this line art here. We're not quite done. We're going to finish it up here in a little bit. But this line art was provided to me by Jason Bascom. It's Absolute Batman. Jason right now has a campaign on Indiegogo that's live. And hi, Ashley. But go check that out. It's the second book in the series. It's called Frog G. I believe this one is Frog G of the Cerberus Key. We're going to take a look at that campaign here in a second. Watch the trailer. Hopefully the audio comes through. And yeah, go back it. It's cool. I backed it. He also has a tier on there where you can get the first book as well, so you can catch up. I did that. But let's go ahead and take a look at that. Woo, I'm full screen. All right. So, Ashley, if you could go ahead and drop that link in the chat to this campaign here. All right. So, on, again, Indiegogo.com, we have Frog G, the Cerberus Key. This is the second book in the series. It's been live for just a couple of days now. He's absolutely crushing it here. As we can see, 204% of his total goal funded. So it's awesome. Frog G, the journey continues. However, one door stands between Jeremiah and his destiny. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer here. And let me know if you can hear the audio. If not, I can turn it up.
All read the story. The brave hero conquers the diabolical villain and rescues the damsel in distress. But this is real life, and in real life, stories don't always have happy endings. Frog G, the story of a man turned into a frog by a voodoo priestess sent on a mission to kill a god like death itself. Now our hero must only underworld to remain this man and bring back the brave love.
It's faint compared to me, so should we run it back? Run it back with some turned up audio.
We've all read the story. The brave hero conquers the diabolical villain and rescues the damsel in distress. But this is real life, and in real life, stories don't always have happy endings. Frog G, the story of a man turned into a frog by a voodoo priestess sent on a mission to kill a god by death itself. Now our hero must roam the underworld to regain his men and win back the woman he loves.
All right, awesome. So that's the trailer for Frog G. A man named Jeremiah who was turned into a frog by a voodoo priestess. I like that they actually went and did an actual animation for that. And if I'm not mistaken, I recognize that voice. I'm pretty sure that's Luke Aglietta doing the voiceover work on that. Super cool. Now, I will say the animation is... Hey, there's April. Hey, April. So the animation was cool and all, but it does not do the artwork justice. Let's go ahead and scroll down and take a look here on some of this here. So the adventure continues. 56 pages. This is huge. The journey continues, however, one door stands between Jeremiah and his destiny. Will he find the secret to opening it, or will he become a frog feast for the denizens of the underworld? Look at this, guys. Just look at that. That is just so cool. Like I said, man, Jason has this, like, very surreal style. And InkSpots does just such a phenomenal job doing the colors over it. And like I said, he colors this traditionally. So he's using mixed media. So he's using like acrylics and watercolors and colored pencils and stuff like that. Just looks so cool. So that looks like that's the main cover for Frog G, the Cerberus key. But again, this is by Jason Bascom and InkSpots. And here's some of the interior art. So we get some more of that really cool sketchy style that he has with InkSpots, just awesome colors. Some very weird shrimp guy. Okay, that's not disturbing at all. I love it. Cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. Oh, look at this. Wow, that is a cool painting. The Kraken in the ocean. That's really cool. Continued in the pages of Frog G, the Cerberus key. Back it on Indiegogo. So I imagine the first, 5 or so pages that we're looking at there are kind of like a prologue, like a little teaser. It blinks. Oh, this one here? Oh yeah, totally. That's super cool. If you look at the frog, he blinks. There's no reason for that other than it's just neat. I love it. Oh, cool. Cool, cool. Alternate cover by Carl Steffen. So this is an alternate cover, so a variant cover, if you will, done by another artist. That's really cool. I like this style here. It looks like it's done mostly with probably colored pencils. Either that or it's done digitally to mimic colored pencils. I can't quite tell. I think it's done traditionally. It looks really cool. Falling into the crack in there. And then a sign up trading card by Christopher John. So I imagine this is a free little bonus trading card you get if you back the campaign. We'll take a look and see if we have any more info on what comes in everything. But that is very trippy looking. Some more action-packed pages. Wow, those backgrounds are fantastic looking. I like that a lot. So guys, if you're just tuning in, we are taking a look at the new Frog G book by Jason Bascom and InkSpots on Indiegogo. Campaign is live right now. This artwork is just cool. It's just stuff that it's a style that you just don't see every day. It's a little sketchy, it's a little surreal, it's a little rough, but it's done with intent. It's not drawn this way because he doesn't know what he's doing. It's drawn this way because it's his style. So very similar to, Frank Miller, Sam Keith, or Mike Mignola. Just really cool stuff. As an extra bonus, every book has a special 8-page story inside detailing the origin story of the Voodoo Priestess by Adam Hawk. Okay, so Frog G was turned into a frog by the Voodoo Priestess, so this is a little origin story of the Voodoo Priestess that comes included here. Ah, here we go, and here's the tiers. So this is what you get on each of the tiers. The featured tier the Frogtastic discount tier, both the standard and variant cover. And that's what we're looking at right here on the right hand side as well. So both covers for $30. So 2 copies of Frog G, the main cover and the variant cover for $30. That's not a bad deal. Original sequential line art tiers. These are really cool looking. So it's just the line art, no colors. And then there's some tiers that have original splash pages. So for those of you that don't know, splash page is just a full page of art rather than having panels on the page. And hand-painted double page spreads. So that painting that I was admiring before that InkSpots did, that's actually a double page. So that's really cool. So it's even bigger than you would anticipate. And of course, he has the Big Daddy tier. What's included in this monster deal? Standard cover, variant cover, a page of Jason's original art. That's cool. The matching page with hand colors by InkSpots. That's awesome too. A good accompaniment there. And the Frog G Nightlight, made by co-creator Frog G. Limited number page selection in order backed. That's really cool. Then we got some more of the art here. A little action shot of Jason at work. Super cool, guys. Super cool. So again, we are on Indiegogo.com looking at Frog G, the Cerberus Key, which is the second book in the Frog G series by Jason, Bascom, and InkSpots. Interesting. So there's like some lithograph kind of things that's going on here. Where it's like layered plastics or resins, and you shine a light behind it to see the image through. Hand-drawn sketch cards. Original artwork from book 1. We didn't put any of the color work on the first campaign, so now is your chance to get some exclusive hand-painted artwork from book 1. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And there's some action shots here from the desk of InkSpots. Those are really cool images. I particularly like the one on the right. That's really cool looking. Yeah, it looks like he's definitely working in looks like watercolors over here. Maybe some acrylics over here. I think that's what those tubes are. Got different color swatches everywhere. I love it. I love it. And there are some stretch goals. So the first stretch goal, once we hit $5,000, all books get spot gloss logo on the cover. That's pretty cool. So they're likely doing a matte or satin finish on the cover. I'd imagine a matte cover. And then once they hit 5,000, they're going to upgrade just the Frog G logo in gloss while the rest of it remains matte. That'll look pretty badass. It's a good way to do that. And then the other tiers are hidden, but there's an 8K, 10K, and 12K gold. And then, of course, there is a stretch goal for $200,000. So if they hit $200,000 on this campaign, Jason shaves his beard and InkSpots eats a raw onion on stream. Well, all the best to you, boys. I hope you hit that goal. That would be hilarious. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these tier perks over here on the right hand side. So like we mentioned before, you can get both covers, so the variant cover and the original cover for Frog G. And you have the main cover, so just one book for $18. So if you end up getting both books, you're getting a discount there. So that's great. That's about $6 off. So you can get just the main cover for $18. You can also get just the variant cover for $18. This is the tier that I purchased, which is the no, this isn't it. But this one is $38. So you get volume 1 and you get the variant cover for number 2 for $38. And then this is the one that I purchased here, that I backed, which is Ketchup Book Main 1 and the main cover for Book 2. So that'll be cool. I'm looking forward to thumbing through both of those and getting caught up. So then you have, for $45, you have the main cover of Frog G Book 2 and a sketch card that was done by the man Jason. For $70, you get a color sketch card plus the book. So that's cool. I like that. That's neat. You get a little miniature piece of original art there. Retail bundle, which is 5 copies for $72. Not a bad deal given that these are jam-packed 58-page books. 58-page books, guys, for $18. Or $15 a piece if you get book 1 along with book 2. That's just a no-brainer. That's just so much. Then you have $135, which is you get the book and you get bonus story art. For $175, you get a sequential page from the book plus the book. $250, you're getting the book plus a splash page, so full page. And then $275, you get the book plus 1 painted art, so original art that is painted. That's awesome. $350, 2-page spread that is hand painted by InkSpots. That's fantastic. Looks like 2 of 3 of those have already been claimed. That is awesome. Way to go, boys. That is awesome. Looks like we still got a few more. Oh, this is the Big Daddy. So this is the package that we were looking at before that comes with a whole slew of stuff. And then a variant cover art plus the books. I'm guessing that's the original art, the original line art. And then the main cover original art plus the books, $450. And that is cool. So yeah, you get the main cover art for Frog G and the Cerberus Key. And both versions of the main book and a variant cover. That's really cool. That's a really cool way to get an original piece of artwork, especially for the cover of a book. $450. That is not a bad deal. That's fantastic, gang. Like I said, we are on Indiegogo looking at Frog G, the Cerberus Key by Jason Bascom and InkSpots. Let's go ahead and take a look at that trailer one more time.
We've all read the story. The brave hero conquers the diabolical villain and rescues the damsel in distress. But this is real life, and in real life,
stories don't always have happy endings. Frog G, the story of a man turned into a frog by a voodoo priestess sent on a mission to kill a god by death itself. Now our hero roams the underworld to regain his humanity and win back the woman he loves.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, perfect. So that's the look at the Frog G, the Cerberus Key trailer and the campaign page. Definitely go back in now. There are some really good deals on there, especially for the amount of art that you're getting in this book. 58 pages. Fantastic. All right. Let's go ahead and let's go back to rendering this Batman piece. We've got about 35 minutes. Let's see what we can go ahead and do on this. Not a whole lot left to do. After not looking at it for a minute and then coming back, I kind of dig it. I kind of dig it. Like I said, it's a little bit different. Well, let's go ahead and hop back in here. Whoa. Mm. I think I like his eyes just being all white. Normally, I'd add a little shadow underneath the brow there, but I think I like it better just all white. I think it looks cool. All right, let's go ahead and let's move on to the highlight layer. So for the highlight layer, we're going to create a new layer. I'm really going to, I typically go with either soft light or hard light. But let's go ahead and let's just go with hard light, and if we need to tamp it down, we can. Label your layers. So that's shadows 2, which I'm now labeling. We're going to do highlights. So for highlights, I like to go in with the auto select tool down to my silhouette layer. We're just going to select everything. Then we're going to hold Control Alt and then click on the multiply layer and the second multiply layer. And what that's going to do again is that's going to subtract everything that's on those layers from what we had already selected, which is the silhouette layer. Now we can go to the hard light layer. Let's go ahead and drop this down to, let's say 58% or so. And what we're going to do is we're going to select a color for the lights. Now I think since we went with kind of this really dark cyan color, I think we're going to go for something in the like orange realm. Maybe orangey red. I don't know. We're just going to go ahead and drop that in. Now that is clearly bananas. So we're not gonna stick with that. We're gonna drop that opacity down quite a bit. So we're sitting at about 10% right now. And I don't know how I feel about it, to be quite honest. You know what? Did I forget? I did. I got ahead of myself here. I still have some highlights I need to drop in here real quick on his skin. I thought it was looking a little weird. There we go. Well, let's do that again. Again, we're going to select the silhouette layer, We're going to hold Control. We're going to hold Alt, and we are going to click with the Auto Select tool on the Shadows Layer 1 and Shadows Layer 2. That's going to subtract that art from that. We're going to go back to the highlight layer. Now we're going to drop our color in. Bam. There we go. And again, we're going to drop that down real low. Real low. Again, I don't know how I feel about it. So what we're going to do, we're going to bump that up to about 15%. We're going to hit Control U. Control U brings up our hue, saturation, and luminosity scale here. So what we can do is we can change the color right on the fly. And that's cool because that's going to give us an idea of what we want to see for the color. You have this almost magenta-like color. That's kind of neat. I don't know that I'm sold on it though. These blues look kind of cool too. Yeah, maybe we'll go with that. I kind of like that. Now the only downside is I have to crank this all the way up. Go to normal layer. That's actually the color that we ended up selecting. It looks bananas. But when we change our mode back, I went to soft light this time instead of hard light. We'll drop that down. But now that we have that color selected, I'm going to go back up to our palette layer. And that's actually the highlight color that we're using. Let's go ahead and mess around with a background on this. I have no idea what we're going to do for the background. You know, maybe we'll let's just start with a gradient. There must be another one back here. This is weird. I must have futzed around with some of this stuff at one point. All right, so we have this there. And we swing down to there. So let's grab something like that. Oop. That's pretty cool. Just a simple gradient, nothing too fancy, but I think it's neat. It makes everything pop. That's fun. Something a little different. Maybe we'll go through and add a little layer of texture. Now, I didn't go through and add any texture on Batman. Normally, you'll see me go in and do some texture, maybe some skin texture, some texture on some clothing, stuff like that. I didn't feel it was necessary at all with the amount of line work that Jason throws at this thing. And to be quite honest, I might not even like the texture on the background just because there's so much texture on Batman. I think the clean background might actually help just create another layer of contrast to push everything forward. April, yeah, the blue is nice. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I agree. I think it's neat. Let's go ahead and see what random textures I have lying about. Nope, don't like that. Or that. Or actually, you know, that gives it a feel of something. A feel of something. That doesn't say much. Almost looks colored pencil-y. Because that grain that I kind of added. You know, I think I kind of like it better clean. I think it does add that extra bit of contrast because Batman is so textured and the background is just completely clean. I think that's the route we're going to go. We're just going to keep it clean. I was going to maybe explore the background more. I usually start with a gradient and see what looks and what good and what works and what doesn't work, but you know, I just kind of like it. I just kind of like it. All right, let's see. Is there anything else we want to do to this? I mean, I could go through and add an extra pass of highlights, but I don't think it's required. Typically, we're doing something like cell shading. Usually, you want to stick around to the like about 3 three colors or variants. So we have our flat colors. We have two shadow layers, which lends itself to two darker tints of our flat colors. And then we also have a highlight layer. So we're working with like 4 layers of color there, which for me, I feel is pretty much the maximum you want to use. I'm doing like a cell shade style or animated style. And that's not to say that that's like a hard rule or anything, but for me, that's just where I like to stop for the most part. I really don't think there's any effects or anything that we really did add to this. I don't think doing any color holds will do it any justice. We could play around and just see what it looks like to do some color holds. Why not? So we're going to turn off our highlights and our shadows so we can get to our base colors. And then we're going to go ahead and let's select our light gray. Let's go ahead and turn on those other layers again. And then let's just start doing some holds. Let's see what happens. And I don't want to erase them away, so I'm going to darken it up just a little bit. Just to see what it leaves us. Actually, coming together very well. Yeah, I think so. And I don't think these holds are going to work out either, but like I said, I'm just playing around, just experimenting a little. This is the time to do that, to experiment a little, to play around, discover something new, try a different technique, or a different brush, or, kind of whatever. Now, that's not going to work at all. So we're going to scrap that. Let's try again. Let's maybe grab something that's a little darker. Like I said, at this stage, we're just playing around, just seeing what may or may not work. I think I'm gonna zip through this real quick, and I'm going to mess around with the color shift on it and see if we can land on a happy medium. I mean, the blacks just look really good. I'm wondering if we can just pull them just a little bit softer and see where that gets us, see if it gets us anything interesting. A lot of time with an animated style or even a graphic style, like graphic illustration, you'll see a lot of color holds. I do color holds, of course, from time to time when I feel it's appropriate or it's lending itself to the style. This isn't. My brain wouldn't immediately go to color holds for something like this, but that's exactly why I'm taking the time to experiment. It's because this is where you learn stuff. And right now I'm just doing some gray holds on the suit. So not the skin, not the cowl and cape and such. So that's kind of what we're looking like. And of course that looks completely washed out and bad. I know this. But we're going to come back here. I'm going to see if we take it dark, but just off from being pitch black. See if that lends us anything interesting. Ooh, just take it just slightly off black and then increase the saturation. That's kind of neat. That's a thing. Hmm. So all the line art of his suit has like it rather than being black, it's actually this like deep blue. That's kind of neat. Yeah, I think it's subtle and just a little different. I think we're going to do that. That's what I think. Let's go ahead and see what we can do with his skin. Again, we need to go a bit darker. I want it to be just off from being black. back. Interesting. Yeah, this is different. All right. So again, I'm coloring some artwork that was provided by Jason Bascom. Jason has a campaign on Indiegogo right now for Frog G. This is actually the second book in the Frog G series. It's Frog G and the Cerberus Key. That's over on Indiegogo. There's a link in the description. Go check that out. Belt in this like deep yellow, kind of brownish color. That's kind of cool too. It's fun. These are subtle little things. I'm not trying to make them like overly obvious, but I think it's neat. I think it's lending itself to the style a little bit better than I thought it would. What time we got? 9:23. That's perfect. Go ahead and go down to the old boots. Nope, don't like that one bit. Or that. You know, I think we're gonna call that good. I think we're gonna call that good. I think that's fun. It's neat. It's different. Let's go ahead and find our signature. Drop that mamma jamma in there. There we go. I think that's it. I think we're gonna call this one good. Fun. It's a little bit different there with the color holds. Like I said, I went tried to go pretty subtle with the holds themselves, but I think they're serving a good purpose. They're adding something a little more interesting. The longer you stare at it, you kind of start to notice the subtle little things, and I think that's good. I think it's cool. All right, and of course, do not forget to save. I forgot to save this entire time, which is definitely not good. All right, perfect. So What do you guys think? You like it? You love it? You hate it? It's a little bit different. I will give it that, but I think I like it overall. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and end it here. Thanks for hanging out. It's been a long time since I was able to do a live stream. I was working on my own campaign, Hellstones, for quite a long time. That kept me very busy. Um, I'm happy to get back to doing some live streams and, promote some other indie creators' work. I think it's fantastic. And maybe I'll do more of this. Maybe that'll just be part of my live streams from now on. Maybe I'll try and get artwork solely from other artists that are promoting something, and I can render on that art, and we'll take a look at what they have going on. So if you're an artist out there and you want some additional eyes on your campaign or your project, hit me up. We'll talk about it. April, interesting to look at for a long time. Like you said, the perspective messes with my brain at first. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and end it there. Please go to Indiegogo.com. Check out Frog G Book 2, The Cerberus Key. Back it. It's a great project, full 58 pages of just amazing artwork. And we'll check you next time. Have a good one.